All right, well, welcome everybody, and I'm excited to have you here tonight. This is going to be exciting. We're going to go through and start out by identifying who we are tonight, and then we're going to install that and we're going to put an anchor with that. So if that's foreign to you, well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, how we're going to do that. So I think it's really important to really instruct ourselves and to identify who we want to be as we move forward. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted you to think about a place where you were stepping into, whatever it is. It could be in your business and life, and we're going to use that as an example when we're doing after the first exercise that we do. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive in, and I just want to take a second and just acknowledge that you all are here and that you showed up. That already says something about the kind of woman that you are. So now I want to ask you something honestly, and I want you to answer this. You can just raise your hand or put it in the chat. And this is the question. Have you ever felt completely ready to step into a bigger leadership role, but something inside you said, maybe not yet? Anybody? I mean, it should be everybody. Every single hand should go up because honestly, I've never met a woman who has grown into real leadership without passing through that exact moment. And I think we all have that. We all have that hesitation. And so even if you think back to when you first started. So here's what I want you to know before we spend a single second together. That feeling, not yet, almost, when I'm most ready, is another excuse that we use. It's not the truth. And that all is just a story. And today, what we're going to be doing is rewriting it. And it's very important to do that. I think you have to know inside what you really want. You have to put it out there. I put it to God. And you've heard often, ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. And so when you can put it in writing and you can actually feel it, what I do is help women to actually embrace that. So my name's Karen Treaster. For those who know me, those who don't, who may be on the replay, for the next 3 days, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop waiting for permission to lead and start embodying a leader that you already are. It's already there. So this is day one, and this is where it begins. So let's go. So I work with a lot of women who are already high performers, women who are skilled, they're experienced and respected, but who feel like there's a gap between where they are and where they know they want to be, where they were meant to be. So they're not lacking talent, they're not lacking ambition. What they're missing is the internal identity that matches the external role they're moving into. Because here's what most leadership development programs, and I've been through so many, and what it gets wrong, completely wrong, is it tries to teach you tactics before it actually addresses the identity. And it gives you scripts before it gives you a self-image upgrade. you can know every communication, every strategy, every influence framework, every executive presence tip. And if your internal story is still, I hope I'm enough, none of it is going to stick. So, what I do is go to the root, and the root is always the identity. I had a client who was already doing great work for her clients, and I'll never forget, she was limited though in how she could actually, how much she could take on be, because it was just such a struggle for her. And she did graphic design, she still does. And she would second guess herself all the time and had a really hard time making decisions. And who can relate to that? I mean, thinking back and maybe still, and you know, which really stressed her out. And I know we all struggle with that sometimes, and we can just take on too much. And also, so after taking my program, her old patterns of thinking changed, and she stopped doubting herself and started making really fast decisions. And she told me that she feels calm, and this is really important, to feel calm and at peace with herself throughout the day so she can handle any situation with ease. So it's not that, obviously, that those obstacles aren't going to come about, because they are, but it's handling them with ease. And that's the key. So it could be, again, just not in work related situations, but maybe in life or personal situations as well. All right, so let's get into the work. So I want to just teach real quickly you a concept today that will fundamentally change how you see yourself in your career or your life. And it's called the self image ceiling. So, your self image is the picture that you hold of yourself, not what you wish you were, not what others see in you, but what you actually believe about yourself at the core. And here's what I want you to understand, that every behavior, every decision, every action you take in your career is constrained by that image you're holding. You will unconsciously self correct to stay inside it. You go right back to your same old patterns. And I love, anybody read Psycho-Cybernetics? Anyone familiar with that? This was a book that I read most of it. He was a plastic surgeon. It's Maxwell Maltz wrote this book. He was a plastic surgeon back in the 60s. And he used to ask his patients how they would feel, what they would think of his work. And he referenced this one patient that he had, and he had asked her, what do you think? And held up a mirror and said, look at your face. And she looked at it, and she just kind of shook her head like this. And he handed it her again, and she just kind of shook her head. And he said, wait a minute, you had a huge scar on your face. And 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 look at it now. And she looked at it again, because she really wasn't noticing anything. And she said, oh yeah, I see that, but I don't feel any different. And so what he did was a lot of research, because he was getting this from so many different people. And he researched it, and he discovered cybernetics. So that's the communication. That's the study of communication, cybernetics, and it's the study of control and feedback loops, that kind of thing. And so he discovered that the animals and machines in animals and machines, And so, for instance, what this means is that things correct themselves. For instance, an airplane. Well, you're flying along, it's got turbulence, and then all of a sudden, it goes right back up to where it's supposed to go, right? It self-corrects. Same as a thermometer. The temperature changes, it goes right back to where it's supposed to go. And what he discovered was that this was with humans as well. So we have a self-regulating uh, uh, system within us. So even if we do something really great, sometimes we can still go back to that same way. So I don't want I see so many women who beat themselves up for stuff that they go back to the same thing and they feel the same way again, and it's not your fault. It's dealing with this. So this is something that this work really helps with. So that's why I'm so excited about being able to do this. And so this is your self-image. And so if your self-image says, I'm the person who supports the leader, your brain will find 1,000 subtle ways to stay in that lane, that you're supporting it. Even when every external circumstance is pushing you forward, because your brain does what it's told. It's that system, goes right back to that. So you'll hold back in meetings, you'll soften your opinions, you'll say yes when you mean no, and no when you mean yes, not because you're weak, but because your nervous system, the fight and flight, is keeping you inside the lines of who you believe yourself to be. And this is what I call the ceiling. And most women are bumping up against it constantly without knowing that it even exists, and just constantly blaming themselves. Now, here's the shift. We don't raise the ceiling by doing more or achieving more. We raise it by changing the image that we already have. So think about this. Two women walk in the same high stakes meeting, maybe for a job interview, team building session, or whatever. And they have the same experience, the same credentials, the same preparation. And one of them walks in thinking, I hope I come across well. And the other one walks in thinking, I am already the leader in the room. So who gets promoted? Yeah, the one with a stronger image every time. So the goal of today's session is to begin that image upgrade, and not theoretically. Actually, we're going to use what's called an NLP identity collapse today. And it's a process that dissolves the old story and installs a new one at the neurological level. So your brain cannot tell the difference between a real experience and a vivid, imagined one. So we're going to use that, right? It can't tell the difference. If you think about taking a bite of a big old lemon right now, right? Think about taking a bite of a big lemon and it bursting in your mouth, just the flavors all bursting in your mouth. Can you feel that? The lemon? What's happening inside your mouth when you think about that? You feel saliva? If you really think about it, this is what your brain is going to believe, whatever you tell it. And I'm all about mastering your brain, because it doesn't matter what you tell it. We can tell it anything we want. And then you tell it enough and it's going to start believing it. And so, because it's true. And you already have all the tools you need. You already have everything. And I'm here to just, bring that out. So I need you. Okay, so right now, go ahead and we're going to get started. Go ahead and bring out, and we're going to have kind of questions at the end too. So uh, take out something to write with. And so if you're in sort of a just a quiet space or a safe space, yeah, and you are, nobody's driving. So I just want you to close your eyes for a minute. And we're not going really deep here. And we're just going to do this NLP exercise. So, or, you can, yeah. So just close your eyes and just relax for a moment, okay? I'm going to close my eyes and just relax. And like I said, we're not going deep, but I just want you to take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And just take another deep breath in. And just relax. And just nice continuous breaths in and out. Just relax your head. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. And just feel this beautiful relaxation going down into your chest, into your belly, into your hips, and down your legs, and into your feet and your toes. And with each cleansing breath, you go deeper and deeper into beautiful relaxation. And now, first, I want you to identify the old story, the one that says you're not ready, not quite enough, still waiting. What does that voice say? Think about the exact words it uses. I hope I get the role. I hope I get the client. I'm almost there. I'll feel ready when this, when that. That's all very conditional. Notice where you feel that in your body. Does it sit in your chest, your throat, your stomach? Don't judge it. Just notice it, observe it. Be an observer. Just notice this. Just take a few moments, just notice it. Now I want you to notice something. That story has a voice, a location, and a feeling. I want you to identify that. A voice, a location, and a feeling, which means it was installed at some point. Someone could have planted a seed by saying or insinuating something to you. You'll never be good enough. You'll never be smart enough. You'll never be pretty enough. You'll never be good at writing, whatever it was. But here's the thing. What was installed can be uninstalled. So just take a breath. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that story beginning to dissolve. Like ink in water. It doesn't disappear in a flash. It just loses its grip. Just see the ripples going away. just fading away. Just notice what you notice. See what you're seeing. Feel what you're feeling. Hear what you're hearing. And now I want you to access, as that's faded, I want you to access the elevated version of you. The woman who already has the role, already holds the room, or already holds control of a relationship, and already leads with certainty and calm. She is not a fantasy. She's a future memory, and she's within you. And your brain can begin living from her today. So I want you to think about these questions, because you're going to be writing this down in a minute. How does she carry herself, this future self? This one that's so calm, so collected, and has it all together. Observe, how does she carry herself? How does she enter a room? What does she say when someone pushes back on her idea? What does she not bother second guessing? And what has she stopped apologizing for? When you're ready, I want you to open your eyes and I want you to write this down when you're ready. Not as a wish list, as a description. Third person or first person, your choice. Either she walks into the room and she, or I walk into the room and I. I'm just going to put some music on, and then we're going to do an anchor and install this as soon as you have that written down. We're going to take a couple of minutes here. Can you hear that? Okay? So, what you wrote down is not who you're trying to become. That's who you already are beneath the old story. We just gave her language. And that's your new identity. That's the woman you're going to install and anchor today. So I'm going to teach you how to anchor this identity so that your nervous system can access it on demand. Does that sound good? So you can use this at any time. Because we run into situations all the time, even just in life, where we want to be our best. So this is NLP anchoring, tying an elevated internal state to a physical trigger. So I'm gonna explain it, and then we're just gonna do it together. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna read what you wrote out loud. Okay, you don't have to do it yet. And I want you to really feel that and let your body respond to it. And then as you feel the certainty, the calm authority, and the groundedness, when you have that feeling, I want you to take your thumb and your forefinger and put them together. Okay? So when you have that feeling, if you don't have that feeling, it's okay. You know what? You can practice doing this. And you can try it again. But it's not going to do any good unless you're actually feeling it in your heart. That's the key. And you don't have to believe it. That's the other thing. You don't have to believe whatever you wrote. I want you to write big, and if you want to rewrite it, you can rewrite it. Because we're going to build on this tomorrow night. So really write big. I want you to go for it. God can give you anything. Just, let your imagination run loose. So anyway, when you have that feeling, you're going to put your thumb and your fourth finger together. And then you're gently going to just kind of apply a little bit of pressure like that. And while you hold that pressure, you're going to say out loud, or you can say it silently if you have to, I lead now already as I am. And I lead now already as I am. So it's I lead now, period, already, period, as I am. And you know how powerful. So that's going to be when you've got that pressure and you're pressing the forefinger together, that's what you're going to say. And then after you say it and that feeling starts to go, you undo it. Open your hand up. Okay? I'll guide you through it. And that's going to be your trigger. So whenever you get in a situation, you can go back to that and you can have that feeling. All right? So yeah, it's really important to be able to feel that though. So, all right, so you ready? So do it with me now. So go ahead and read out loud what you wrote, or if you can, read it out loud. Go ahead. And I want you to feel it. I want you to let your body respond to it. Really feel it. Let me know when you're done reading it. Just put your hand up. And as you feel the certainty, the calm authority, the groundedness, place your two fingers together. If you have to read through it again, do it again. And just when you feel it in your heart, put your two fingers together and say out loud or to yourself, I lead now, already as I am. And when you're ready, all right. So the anchor is yours. Every time you put your thumb and your forefinger together and say those words, you're calling in the elevated version of you. And I want use it before meetings, before hard conversations, before interviews, before you walk into any room where you want to be the leader. So just try it. Put your finger and your forefinger, finger and your thumb together again, and see how you feel for a second. And you can install it. If you're not feeling it, you can install it again. So I'm interested so what came up for you? How do you feel? You guys anybody want to share anything?
Calmness.
Good. That's great.
I realized that as I was repeating those words back, that I had to reselect other ones as I was speaking them out. It was a little deeper self-discovery.
Good. Oh, that's great. You can change any of the words that you want, anytime. And you can actually change the words that you speak too if you've come up with something different and using that anchor. And you can re-anchor yourself because you did it yourself already, right? As you
Mhm.
were as you were reading through it. So, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love how you discovered whatever you did. I mean, discoveries about ourselves is so important, that self-reflection. So, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else feel anything?
Like it hit different when I reworded it to first person instead of third person. It was more powerful to me that way.
Absolutely, Tara. That's a great point. And I love that too. I always recommend first person because we are that person. And yeah, so that's a really good point. So from now on, let's keep using the I am because the I am is just so powerful. And it's already within you. It's just that we're bringing it out. So and we're defining it. So I'm hoping that this trigger is really going to be good for you. And and we're gonna build on it because tonight. So well, we'll get into that. But so Denise, did you have anything that you wanted to say? Okay, all right. So um, what we're gonna do then is this is what your assignment is going to be between now and tomorrow is to read what you wrote every morning, every morning out loud, not as an affirmation, not as a hope, as a fact, because it is a fact. You're just practicing recognizing it. So in the I am. And tomorrow, what we're going to do, we're going to go deeper because here's what I know about leadership. You have to have the right identity, the right strategy, the right words, and the, the moment of real pressure, when real pressure hits, your body can sabotage all that, right? Your nervous system can sabotage all that. Your heart rate spikes, your voice tightens, your mind goes blank when you need it the most. So, tomorrow, I'm giving you the tool that stops that from happening and in under 60 seconds. And it's the exact reset I use with my one to one clients, and it works every time. So, that is it. And I'm just so excited for everyone, and it was great seeing you. So I'm going to see you tomorrow night. I hope you all come back here because we're gonna get that, and we're just gonna keep building. Tonight we sparked her, right? Tomorrow we're gonna fuel her, right, with the calming tool, and then ignite is the third night. So these all build on each other, and you can use that same. We're going to build on that anchor that we use as well. So so we're going to do that, and I'm going to give you that tool. So it's you got to think about you did something real tonight. So don't let your old story talk you out of what happened tonight. Don't let it talk you out of the story and the person that you really are, that we are installing back into you. That one that we're moving out and installing the new one. Okay, makes sense? All right, that's it, everybody. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, awesome, everyone. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this technique.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for
Thank
coming, everyone. I appreciate
you.
you, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.
All right, good night. Hope you feel better, Tara.
Thank you.
Let me go to record and stop.